Ladies and gents, guys and boys, Danny Stewart here for BassDemand.com with another Naked Sound review. And again, you heard this bass in action in the intro track and video there, which is done 4K direct sound. And I'm going to be talking about this bass and this range actually that Bacchus are now introducing. And I'll be doing that in the room mic, just a smartphone room mic, so that you can hear in both situations, both direct and both just in the room. It's a nice bass that's balanced with the tone up, both the bass and treble up, and you can hear that it sounds very clear and crisp. It's quite a transparent sound. If you if you listen to that, it's quite transparent, isn't it? So what are we doing? Yeah. So that's nice. I actually prefer a slightly different tone to that personally. I like something that's a little bit more opaque. So let me tell you right off the bat my rating for this range. So this is called the Japan tune-up range. They're made in Indonesia with locally sourced materials, and they are assembled and fine-tuned. They do some small details with setup and fretwork, finishing and all that sort of stuff here in Japan, and they're set up extremely well. This came perfectly in tune out of the box and at my preferred action of 1.5 millimeters with minimal relief. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's got there are a lot of things to like, and there are just a couple of things that, I mean, for the money though, it's fine. So let me start with the things that I like. So I like the preamp. The preamp is their own two-band pre, and as you can hear, it's nice and crisp sounding. It's got plenty of scope. Sounds good. That was passive, active, passive, active. So you can really hear that it's got a lot of kick and punch when everything's dialed up. And I like the fact that they've tuned it to be the same as when it's at notch. It's basically the same as passive. So you've got a notch cut and boost on a two-band preamp, which is great. I think it sounds great. It sounds kind of similar, I think, to the Aguilar OBP2. It's got some bite and aggression in the highs, and it's got quite a lot of boost in the bass as well. It's a little bit more aggressive than a Bartolini, which is kind of smooth sounding to me. I like them both though, but so I like the preamp. That's great stuff. I love the fretwork. It is perfect. It's way better than what you get just on the basic Global series. Like the edges of the frets are nicely rounded and polished, just as good as the Japanese fret work as far as I'm concerned. And although I don't think these are stainless steel like on the Japanese ones, so these won't last quite as long as the Japanese ones, but they are just as well finished, and they're leveled nicely and everything. And the neck is very, very good. It's very stable. It's double roasted maple. The maple is sourced in Southeast Asia, so it's not like the same sort of grain caliber as, say, Canadian hard rock maple. Like there are some little anomalies in the grain, but they're not that. That's not something that I particularly care about. Really, the overall look and functionality and feel is more important to me than just how beautiful the neck grain looks. So I do like the neck, and I like the color scheming as well. I'm going to say the color scheming is really nice, very tasteful throughout this series. These are available active or passive. This is an active one, of course. And they offer, this is charcoal grey, they offer black, they offer some beautiful kind of turquoise sort of blue. And there's red as well. And I think there's brown as well. I'm not too keen on the brown one because it just ends up looking like a piece of furniture, because the neck is so brown as well. But yeah, it's very tasteful, and they've got this black binding around the top, and then the bodies are, again, it's Southeast Asian sourced. These are what's the material called? Nat Wood, which is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Nat Wood is also termed as Asian mahogany. It is actually not mahogany. Technically, it looks like mahogany and it sounds pretty similar to mahogany, and its weight, it varies, but it's kind of on the same spectrum as mahogany. But I believe this is actually mango, a type of mango wood. But yeah, I like it. I like it quite a lot. The bridge I like too. It's a high mast bridge with steel saddles, and it's got runners for each saddle so they don't slip at all. It also has edges to stop the saddles slipping, so raised edges, or a kind of, if you want to call it, a frame here. So that's good. Certainly just as good as the Craft series bridge. So those are the things that I like. Also, I like the neck plate. Neck plate is great. This is a solid brass neck plate with nickel plating, and it means that it's heavy, and it's designed to give it more designed to give it more sustain. And the sustain is good. Yeah. Yeah, the sustain is good. So those are the points I love. And while I'm just noodling around, I'm just going to noodle around on the rear pickup right now while I talk about the things that I don't like. So one thing I noticed that I don't particularly find, I mean they're fine, but the pickups are not as good as the Craft series. These are ceramic magnets with metal poles. They're not magnetic poles, actually. So they have the magnet on the back. There's nothing really wrong with that, but you know, these are similar to what they use on the Universe series, which, you know, for me that's a little bit, yeah. I would have liked to have seen some at this price range. I would have liked to have seen some Alnico pickups instead, but you know, it's they still sound good. They sound good. They sound a little transparent though, which is not my preference. I prefer something that's a little bit more. Let's go active mode now with the bass boosted. Yeah, it's nice actually, isn't it? It's not a bad sound for the rear pickup. 60s position spacing as well, so the rear pickup's not so burpy. You know, again, I find the sound a little bit transparent. These pickups, so yeah, not my favorite pickups, but they're good enough. The tuning pegs are another thing that that I don't particularly like. I mean, they do their job, but they're just very basic. You know, the Craft series certainly offered better hardware than this. So yeah, those are the only two disappointments for me. The rest of it, I think, is great playability. It's very nice. And yeah, I'm going to be getting more in. I'm going to get the HJ Freaks model in later this month, so do look out for that. And of course, I'm not going to demonstrate that because HJ Freaks, if you don't know him, he's that absolutely gorgeous cross-dressing slapmeister dude from here in Japan. He's quite an interesting bloke. Yeah, I'll just be using links to his videos to showcase his signature model. Of course, he's the best man for the job. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, in the meantime, I do recommend these new Japan tune-up series. You know, I think for the price, which is under $1,000, I think these are but like $950 for 5-string active one, and then you know it gets progressively cheaper if you get a 4-string, or if you have a passive version. Yeah, it's a bit cheaper. But yeah. Little disappointed about the pickups and the tuning pegs. I thought that these were basically going to be sort of the same grade as Craft series. I would say that the neck and body construction are on a par with Craft series, but I would say the tuners lack and the pickups lack a little bit. Preamp's good though, man. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's a good bass for the money. It certainly competes with other basses in the same price bracket. So yeah, I think it's good for professional applications as well. It cuts enough tones for you to use it across multiple genres. So yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up, solid 8.5 out of 10, which is a very good score. So yeah, have at it, guys, and I'll see you again for another Naked Sound review soon. Take care.